So you guys may be wondering, how exactly do we do this whole RV living with the airplane? Like how we have the RV and the airplane, the house, airplane, all right there. It's on one location. It's awesome. It's amazing. So I think today we're gonna go ahead and give you guys a little walk around of our RV house living situation. I'm John from Fly 8 Mike Alpha, CFI turned airline pilot turned back to CFI. Come along on my journey, flying Alaska to Florida and beyond. Let's go find Stephanie. There's Stephanie. All right, are you ready to give us a tour of our house, RV, our trailer?
So there's a couple of systems I came up with in the kitchen to do dishes. It's not the best one, but we got this thing. The sink's really big, which is awesome. It's a steel one. It's just really nice. You can pile everything on there and do dishes. And then John added this really cool extra counter space.
Is that your favorite part of the kitchen right there? Is that
sure?
the little part I added, along with the really high-class blue painter's tape because it was chafing as we were driving and it was kind of like wearing out that stuff. Oh, and also, yeah, our door looks janky because the dog likes to scratch at the screen door. So we taped up some cardboard there. Really high class. We wanted to class it up the moment we moved in, make it really ours, you know, and make it feel like home.
Personalized.
Yeah, totally.
So the kitchen's actually really cool. It's got 3 burners and it's really nice for 2 people. Oven, microwave, fridge, and it's surprisingly big.
What do you have in the fridge right now? Anything good?
Vegetables.
IPA. There's an IPA in the fridge.
Cookie dough.
Yeah.
Mostly vegetables. Sorry, not a lot of fun things. But there's a lot of ice cream in the freezer. We love ice cream.
Let's count them up. Yeah, 5, 6 types of ice cream in the freezer right now. And
trying to fatten him up for the winter. It's not really working because I eat most of the ice cream, not him.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is actually really cool. So this runs on AC right now, so 120 volt that we're plugged into, or it'll run on propane, and it actually just burns a little bit of propane we get. If we were doing nothing, if we were to not use the oven or the stove or the hot water heater, that would run for about almost like 2 months on all the propane we have.
Really neat. The propane is very useful. It makes everything work. Hot water, fridge, heat. So it's a really good backup. Although when we were in Utah in the wintertime, it ran out pretty quick.
When you start using the furnace, we burn a lot of propane using the furnace.
Yeah. It's
and this is Steph's desk area right here. This is her office / our kitchen table.
So we added this table. I actually built it. I don't know if you saw that part of the video. And then John claimed.
Yeah, I fixed it.
Eyes. This is my desk, but then it also doubles as our eating area. And I can only go this far. I can't get any more space than this.
It was 2 recliner chairs that were there when we first got the RV.
Yeah.
But we made that our kitchen table area because that was the kitchen table and that's now my desk. This is Steph's desk with plenty of overhead storage. I mean, look at all this overhead storage. It's amazing, isn't it?
It is actually a lot of storage. We thought we had so much storage when we first moved into this
thing.
Yeah,
we were like, we'll never fill this thing. And yeah, a month into it.
And then John started getting a bunch of stuff for Flight Mike Alpha.
Yeah, Amazon Prime is not really your friend. Once we finally got to an airport where we could Amazon Prime things, yeah, we loaded up on a lot of camera gear.
Yeah. And then this is Sia's area.
Yeah, Sia has the largest area of the 3 of us, actually. She's claimed the entire couch. It is all hers. And she's not ashamed at all.
But yeah, she actually, because I put this couch cover on the couch so that, you know, John wouldn't freak out, she just took over, and that's her bed, her carriers, her couch, and yep. We pretty much don't use it.
Yeah, we've got plenty more cabinets up there that are totally full with gear and stuff. We've got vacuum cleaners in there. We've got our lighting equipment down there. And Steph's yarn cabinet.
All of these cabinets have John's stuff, all right? It's all Flight Mike Alpha stuff. And then this is my cabinet.
That's Steph's knitting cabinet. And that's the fire that I build every morning when I wake up. The first thing I do when I wake up is build a fire for Stephanie.
He chops wood.
Yep.
And brings it in from outside, starts the fire.
Yep. And once you chop the wood and everything, what you do is you just come right over here to this button and yeah. And that starts the fire and turns it off, yeah.
Okay, and this is John's favorite part of the trailer, or our addition to the trailer.
Yeah.
What's his name?
That's Steve. That's my baby.
This is John's baby. Like, see as my baby? This is John's baby.
Yeah. That has been the best investment, $12 or $12.98 from Walmart that we ever made. That thing has gotten so much use. I've taken it apart several times now to clean the dust out of it because it smelled like burning hair.
He has to use the air compressor.
Yeah. It's yeah, the best investment we've ever made. The thing's probably got more hours on it than 6.2 Delta does now.
Pretty much.
My favorite part about this whole trailer, though, is the fact that when you look out the window, there's the airplane right there. It's right there. It's literally, that's our airplane. So being able to park at airports and do this trip at airports is just epic.
We forgot one thing about the kitchen. Sia's food bowls, which were really, really a nice gift from my friends Dick and Lisa Yingling over in Tucson, Arizona. And, oh, she's very concerned right now that I'm touching it. But it is handmade, made of wood for the dog. So that was very nice.
So pretty. My favorite part of the trailer starts here, really, and ends there. So this is the workstation, right? We have camera lenses in there, not very well organized. We've got a fun little stereo set up in there. We've got a little charging station. Oh, and an airplane that just crashed. Our little charging station, not very well organized right now either. The hardest thing about living in the trailer is staying organized, and just even if you weren't in a trailer, you still, after you do a shoot or you go filming for a couple days, you always have to take that reset day to kind of get reorganized, get all the batteries charged up, get everything back to where it's supposed to be so you can be efficient when you go and do more filming. In here we've got drones and other things. This is hooked up to one computer. The keyboard for it is there, which is hooked up to our big desktop. And then we have my big monitor that's hooked up to the laptop for video editing. I try to do everything on the laptop just so I can grab it and go easy when we go to different places. We've got my little file cabinet. This place is a mess just because we're not that organized, really. That ugly piece of styrofoam there is what we use to put underneath the computer monitor and then bungee it down and strap it down so it doesn't, you know, break as we're driving, because things would totally break. We've got tons of these now, little 4 terabyte externals. Probably more than 10 of them with all the footage we've got on this trip. It's been crazy. And of course, my breakfast. It takes me like 2 hours to eat breakfast. But that's the extent of our living room. The dual slide out, so these rooms slide out, or these, you know, parts of the room slide out that you can kind of see on the outside of the RV. Then they pull in when we're driving to make it much narrower. Can't really walk in here when we have the slide outs pulled in. You have to do like a weird jump over top the cabinet thing there on the countertop, but it works.
If you stop for a short time, you can just slide this one out a little bit and get to the fridge and make
and you can still cook and do the kitchen stuff, or without moving any slide outs, you can walk right through here up into our bedroom area that Steph's going to show us.
Uh-oh, I don't know if we cleaned it up.
Yeah, it's not very clean.
So here's the bathroom, and it's pretty much a full bathroom with a shower. And luckily, John and I are very small people, so we fit really well in this area. I don't know what somebody that's over 6 feet.
Yeah, so 5'2". Now just imagine, you know, being 6'2".
Imagine 6'4".
Or 6'4" would be the ceiling. Yeah, that little bit of space in between the head and the ceiling. Yeah, it helps being short. And this is our bedroom now that it's more so cleaned up. Steph's side of the bed with stuff everywhere. My side of the bed, totally clean. If I stand up taller, you might be able to see what's on the other side. But we're just going to stay right here at this level, and it's totally clean over there.
And
There's
it should
nothing
be
on the
noted
floor.
that I gave John the bigger side of the room with all the closet space and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I have so much need for closet space. Actually, our closets are really cool, and it's kind of being taken up right now by an old computer monitor and
let me show you what this pile of stuff is, because it's actually kind of cool.
That pile of stuff are the t-shirts that you guys order off the website.
It's our new shirt design.
It looks totally doable.
It looks totally doable. Wait, Mike Alpha. And we have long sleeves and short sleeves.
Because I get cold easy. And of course, lots more storage over the bed. Those things are awesome. This is basically the cap of the trailer. So there's very little space between this roof and basically the edge of the trailer. So you do feel the temperature change a little bit. The trailer's pretty thin. It's not a oh, no one's at the door, see ya. No one is here. It's totally fine. No one is here.
That is our alarm system.
Yeah.
It's very efficient. Did you show them my decorations?
Our decorations from the earlier part of our trip are pretty cool right there. The R factor, for those of you who are very technically inclined, it's an R9 in the wall, an R40 in the ceiling, and the windows have zero insulation. It's, yeah.
And they're very bright, so we cover them up.
Yeah, we have that little thing to actually be able to sleep because we don't get up early.
And it's got this really cool shelf here for things.
With our earplugs because, like I said, not much in the way of noise insulation
and
here.
We sleep at Walmart sometimes.
Yeah, in the parking lot of Walmart. It's actually, we've really embraced the whole Walmart lifestyle. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We got this little slider door for a little bit of privacy in the bathroom. We've got our vents down there for heat. Thermostat in here, which controls this AC unit. A little light switch. And these vents, which go all throughout the ceiling, so you can actually run the AC in the main room, the other AC, and then have cold air coming through here, so it's not so loud at night. Or you could run this AC when you're working during the day, which blows cold air then out to the main room. Another little thermostat here, which controls our furnace, which is propane, 35,000 BTU, and then it controls our AC, which is right back there in the ceiling. Of course, have to be plugged into like shore power generators for the AC. And propane, you just need 12-volt power, so as long as we have the batteries charged up on the trailer, then it'll run the blower off 12-volt and we'll get heat, which is awesome. But it uses a lot of propane to do that. We've got this awesome little fan thing here, so when I tap that button, it automatically opens up that little vent and turns on that exhaust fan, which is really cool. We've gotten to use it a couple times to actually use outside air to cool the RV instead of having to use air conditioning.
It kind of functions as a hood for the kitchen.
Yeah, because that smoke detector goes off all the time.
That thing hates me. That thing complains every time I'm cooking anything. Just
so you know, that's not a timer. The food's done before that goes off. Just so you know. And then back here into the kitchen, we have this little cabinet, and behind this little cabinet door is our control panel. So that controls our slides in and out. I think we're just about ready to get on the road, so we could bring slide 3 in, which actually pulls that slide out right into the bedroom. And then we've got gas, electric to turn on the water heater. We've got our porch light, our awning light, which is really cool for outside. The ceiling lights for inside the main room here. I totally forget what these do. I think they do nothing. Oh, that's a water pump. And this is something else. I put tape over it and I forget. It is the step light, right? It does that. That's what it does. I don't know why they even put that in here. This guy tells us how much battery we have. Right now the battery's full. It tells us we have about 1/3 of a tank of fresh water left. Our black tank is 2/3 full, gross. Our bathroom gray tank is 2/3 full, so that's our little sink and shower. And then the kitchen gray tank is pretty much empty.
John doesn't know how to do dishes. He can do anything.
I know how to use a dishwasher.
Yeah, I don't see the dishwasher.
That's one thing that's missing from this whole setup. And this thing is really cool. That's our awning. So when we look outside here, this awning, once the camera adjusts for the light, actually just extends right out. And then underneath the awning, we have that super cool awning light. So we have those LED lights under there. Super cool to be out here at night, especially at the fly-ins. We get those little speakers on the outside of the RV so we can crank some tunes and jam out. Woo! Plus, now we have a fire pit, and I think it's about time for us to show you guys the outside setup of the RV. So obviously it is trash day. We'll get that moved here soon. We're not that ghetto. We have these cool little steps that fold right up, and those just kind of go right into there when we're driving. We have our basement storage, and the basement is pretty pretty full. We thought we would never fill it, but we totally have. We've got air compressors, toolkits, we've got our patio furniture because, you know, gotta make yourself at home when you get to the airport. Our little folding wagon, which is super cool for dragging things around, groceries and all that. Our vacuum cleaner down here, some other random tools, empty jugs to do oil changes on the airplane with, so we can capture all that oil. And that's pretty much that side of the basement. We have these awesome little lights that are like motion sensors, so they just automatically turn on when you open up the door to the basement there. We've got electrical outlets down there, so we can actually run the air compressor and all that without having to run cords inside. And then that just kind of slams closed and you can lock it up. Here is one of our propane tanks. So we have two 30-pound propane tanks, one on each side. And if you're not running the furnace, then you can probably go for over a month cooking, maybe running some hot water, running the fridge a little bit on two tanks. As soon as you start running the furnace, you got about 2-3 days maybe in wintertime to run one tank. So about 5 to 6 days on two tanks with you know, 30-degree-ish temperatures. Wind really does not help because these things do not seal up well. These slide outs let in a ton of draft. Not a ton, but when it's blowing 30 miles an hour outside, 30 knots, there's going to be some wind coming in, and that really makes it a lot colder inside the trailer. Pretty drafty there. Under here, we have another storage compartment where we have one of our generators. We started this trip with 2 generators. We're down to 1 because we stuck an intake valve on one of our Honda generators with like 20 hours on it, which is a huge bummer. And I'd bought them used, so there's no warranty on it. So I think we're going to be in the market for a new generator here soon. But basically, yeah, normal fifth wheel setup hooks up here into the bed of the truck. In the bed of the truck, my favorite thing that we've ever got from Amazon, the fire pit. And the fire pit plugs right into one of those propane tanks with about a 10-foot cord on it, or hose. And we can have our own little propane fire going as we sit out in our cool patio furniture out in front of the RV with the awning out and everything. Very, very cool for fly-ins. Plus we have this big cooler we also added with about 200-ish beers and sodas in it. So if you see us at a fly-in, I'd recommend, you know, stopping by and saying hi. We've got plenty of free beer and a cool little fire usually going. Other propane tanks beside in here, we have a little switcher valve that allows us to pick which tank we're running off of, so we can run one dry and then swap to the other one. This looks like a mess, but it's actually the coolest part of like the outside of the RV. It allows us to just basically press one button and the jacks come down and level the RV for us. So it's auto leveling, one tap, and all 4 jacks come down and figure out how to tilt the RV so that you're on a perfectly level surface, so you're sleeping level, so the fridge is on a level surface. Propane fridges need to be level to run correctly. And then when we're ready to go somewhere, I just tap through the little menu here, hit auto retract all, and we're pretty much ready to go. So we can automatically retract all our jacks, and we're already hooked up to the truck, and then we'll be ready to pull the slides in and go forward. In here is also our water selector. So all these valves here are super handy for selecting what you want to do, right? So if we're dry camping like we are now, we just make it look like the picture. If we're going to add water, then we can go ahead and twist this valve there, this one there, that one there, and then we could add water, just make it look like the picture. So they've made it pretty dummy proof how to go camping, really. You fill your water through there, you fill your black tank with fresh water there so you can flush it out, and then you don't want to pull that handle until you're ready. That's our black tank dump. And then we have the 2 gray tanks for the kitchen and then for the bathroom as well to dump our gray water out, which comes out of our sewer hose. That would go to the connection, which I still have to put the cap back onto, from our sewer. This is our hot water heater behind here, so propane or electric. This is our furnace, and so it's gonna have your exhaust right there. So it takes air in and then burns the propane, and then all the exhaust comes right out and just uses basically like a manifold or a heat exchanger, much like the muffler on like a Cessna to heat the cabin. That's how we heat the entire coach. So it's only about 70% efficient because you are blowing a lot of hot air out rather than actually using like electric heat, which keeps all the heat inside the coach. We have our 50 amp hookup, which is right now a 15 amp hookup because we're at an airport and we just plug into people's hangars that are really friendly and awesome and let us plug in.
By the way, thank you to Jimmy and Debbie at Gladewater for letting us park here for a couple days.
Yeah, it's super cool. We've got our slide out, which is basically Steph's office and our refrigerator. So the refrigerator is here. The stove is right there, refrigerator. Steph's office space, her beautiful window. And coming back here to the back of the RV, we have a very cool addition, which is our bike rack. And normally we would have 2 bikes back here, but we usually keep one in the airplane, one in the RV. And if we put 2 bikes on here, the handlebars of the second bike closer in bounce against the trailer. So you either have to take the handlebars off or kind of extend this out further so we can actually fit 2 bikes on here without beating up the trailer as we go down the road. But it works out that Steph gets to keep her bike in the airplane. I get to keep my bike on the back of the trailer here. And then on this ladder here, we can take our ladder on up to our roof for our beautiful 360 view of the area. Basically, we have 2 AC units. Those are the big black things. We have the TV antenna, which we never use, 2 skylights, the black tank vent and the gray tank vent, and then that little exhaust fan deal for the main room and the exhaust vent for the bathroom as well up there. On our RV wish list is a backup camera, because man, this thing would be so much easier to back up if we actually had a backup camera. And for all the money we spend on camera equipment, you'd think we'd buy a $350 backup camera, but I guess we've been spending a lot of money on GoPros and DSLRs and camera equipment for the airplane in our adventures more than the RV. But it's on our wish list.
And an engine overhaul.
Oh yeah, and that too. That is pretty much our setup. Again, the coolest thing about all this is the fact the airplane's right there. There's really no complaints, and living in a trailer, never did it before this time, but I don't know, what do you think, Steph?
We're getting to know each other really well, and
yes.
It's actually everything you need. I couldn't imagine more than 2 people in this, but it's great.
Yeah, although if you guys do come visit, we will go ahead and prepare the futon for you. We will kick Sia off of her throne and pull out the pull-out couch.
She might hang out with you though.
Yeah.
In her area, but
yeah, but either way, we do have a pull-out couch there, so feel free to drop by, and if you guys got any questions on our RV, on our whole little setup, or how we do this, leave them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you guys. So you guys know the drill. Like, subscribe right over there by Steph's face, and we will see y'all in the next episode. Come here. Good girl. I'm getting less and less faith in Google as I drive more.